Matthew Stafford has pretty much missed the entire offseason workout for the Los Angeles Rams. So, on today's question, we got to ask the question: will Matthew Stafford's latest injury derail the Rams' Super Bowl chances? And then Jerry Jones continues to talk about Micah Parsons and pretty much speaks up about the confidence that he has in Micah Parsons being ready for week 1 of the NFL season. Y'all know we're going to talk about it, break it all down, but you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another daily episode. So if you're tuned in, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, the Los Angeles Rams had a really good season last year, and then they made some major improvements to the roster this year, picking up Devontae Adams, and then you want to see Kyron Williams continue to be the good running back that he is. And then you hope that my man's Jared Verse take a significant step forward after having a really good season this past year. But with the latest injury that has came out and that has happened to Matthew Stafford, we got to keep it a buck and ask questions about the future of him and what does it mean for the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the injury that's being reported is that Matthew Stafford suffered an aggravated disc in his back. And according to reports, Matthew Stafford has been receiving epidurals to aid in dealing with the injury. The Rams has called Stafford to be in week to week, and they have been cautious with the quarterback. And it brings up a lot of questions, but they do expect him to be ready for week 1 of the NFL season. Now let's talk about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford has been taking a beating his entire career, talking about those seasons in Detroit, talking about the seasons with the Los Angeles Rams, mentioning a lot of different things. And I remember sometime over this offseason that there was some discussions if he was going to step away from football or if he was looking to go to another team. There was a lot of different discussions that came about when talking about Matthew Stafford. And now we come to this point, and you hope that now receiving epidurals that somehow, some way, this type of thing won't affect him for the remainder of his career. He's definitely up there in age, I believe 37 years old. And we know football is a violent and physical sport that can, result in some long-term things down the line, even after playing so many seasons. He's a really good quarterback, but we just hope that you see Matthew Stafford be healthy, because if he is healthy, Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams, they could very well go out there and win a championship because he's that damn good. Sean McVay is that good, and this team is really good, and they are not winning anything if Matthew Stafford is not the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. You just want to see and hope that this aggravated disc in his back is not something that will keep him out of the lineup for a very long time. And I know the expectation is to have Matthew Stafford ready for week 1, but I have to question it. Do you really need him for week 1 when you have a long season? Because the backup for the Los Angeles Rams is Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, we understand that Jimmy Garoppolo is a quarterback that has suffered injuries himself, but he is still a very capable quarterback to at least drive the car until Matthew Stafford is ready. Now, there may be some questions about if my man's Matthew Stafford can go out there and build some chemistry up and, with the teammates, now that you have Devontae Adams on the squad. And you don't want to expect Puka Nacua to continue to be as good as he has been and you want to see that run game and the offensive line and all those guys come together to be a successful unit. But can Jimmy G hold it down at least if Matthew Stafford is not ready by week 1? I think Jimmy Garoppolo could very well do that. Jimmy G is a starter in this league. He was a guy that sat behind Tom Brady. I'm not saying he is Tom Brady, but he has learned. And then he went on to be a part of a really, really good 49ers team and has seen some success. Did not capture that Super Bowl, but he did get the 49ers to that Super Bowl with the likes of Shanahan. And during his entire time with the 49ers, um, he had a 39-18 record with the 49ers, and he was 4-2 in the playoffs. And again, did take the 49ers to the Super Bowl along with Kyle Shanahan. Excuse me. So I think that even if Matthew Stafford is not ready for week 1, you still have a kind of like a contingency plan to allow Matthew Stafford to take a little bit more time off, simply because we know that, hey, offensive linemen, they can't win every single battle versus the defensive linemen. There will be some mess ups. There will be some miscues. And Matthew Stafford can get hit wrong again and get popped because the left tackle didn't move his feet correctly, or the defensive end just simply beat his man. Matthew Stafford can take a hit and be out for a significant amount of time. It's the cost of football, but at the same time, you want Matthew Stafford to be in as best shape and as healthy as possible so you can make this Super Bowl run, while you only have, in my opinion, the Eagles to worry about. I believe that the Rams are better than the Commanders. I believe that. I don't believe that there is no team in the NFC South that is better than the Rams. I don't believe there's a team in the NFC North or the NFC East other than the Eagles that are better than the Los Angeles Rams as it currently stands today. I believe within their own division, the Los Angeles Rams, yes, you look at the NFC West, I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals have improved. I do believe that you still cannot forget about Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. But at the same damn time, they have a really good head coach over there. And I think that that team with that young defense is ready to rock and roll. The Los Angeles Rams, they are ready to rock and roll and try to push for another Super Bowl. And I think that you want Matthew Stafford to be as healthy as possible so you can make sure that you can go on that run and capture another Super Bowl under head coach Sean McVay. Jimmy G is capable, but we'll see how they play this whole thing out. I don't necessarily think that you have to rush Matthew Stafford back for week 1 because of the length of the season, but we'll see how they play it out. And y'all know we're going to continue to cover that. Let me know how y'all think about that discussion and topic right there. Now, before we get up out of here, we got to talk about my man's Jerry Jones. What else? What else do we have to talk about? My man's Jerry Jones. Well, Jerry Jones, you know, he's not going to shy away from any cameras. He's not going to duck any smoke. He's going to always come out there and put his face in front of the microphone and have some things to say. And when he was asked by some reporters during training camp, one of their practices, asked them about Micah Parsons, who Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons have been going back and forth for some time now about a contract, and Micah Parsons submitting that trade, and Jerry Jones believing that fans should not lose any sleep over it. They asked him, how confident are you that Micah Parsons will play week 1? Well, asked him if he's confident. He said, no, absolutely not. Then he went on to say a big part of it is his decision, because we've been finding out that Jerry Jones had a handshake deal. And hey, call it what you want. A lot of the times, handshake deals happen in entertainment, and law, and all this stuff. But those people have representation that will ultimately get the job done. Now, if you go in and you talk contracts with an entertainer or entertainment company or some type of different thing that's going on, even in the NBA, You have conversations with the player. You still have to reach out to that representation. Same thing applies here. Him and Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones, that is, talked about the contract that Micah Parsons is expecting, but after a handshake, Jerry Jones never reaches out to the man's representation to solidify and get the deal done. That's a problem with me. You can't sit there and just expect a guy to X out his representation and not expect him to go out there and have this deal done. You can't do that. You can't expect Micah Parsons to talk to Jerry Jones and then I have Jerry Jones to reach out to his representation to get a deal done. That will put Micah Parsons in a very, very tough situation because he has signed, some of those rights over to that agency to get the job done. Do I believe that Micah Parsons will play week 1? I don't necessarily know. I think that Jerry Jones loves this type of attention. I think Jerry Jones loves this type of attention going on to the Dallas Cowboys. I think Jerry Jones has shown that he's going to play around and then ultimately cave and give those said players the type of money that they're asking for. And if Micah Parsons doesn't play week 1, how long would he sit out? I don't think it'll be very, very long, simply because, again, that franchise tag will come into play when it comes to, okay, you don't have to play. But guess what? We ain't giving you up. We're going to franchise tag you. So a lot of different things to talk about in that and look forward to when it comes to if Micah Parsons will be traded, which I don't think. I think it's very, very slim that the chances that Micah Parsons will be traded. I think that Jerry Jones is going to retain the player. He's going to pay the player. I don't know what Micah Parsons is asking for. I'm hearing rumors, or at least saw something that somebody reported he wants $50 million a year, which is crazy work. So I don't know where we go from here, but I'm dialed in trying to see what happens, because if you do trade him, you're going to get a trade package that is going to be crazy. If you trade Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to get a trade package that is crazy. This guy's only 26 years old. He has been phenomenal. Nothing less than 12 sacks a season. So if you trade Micah Parsons, bro, you about to get a haul. You're going to get picks with players, because that team is going to be looking to make, some room for the cap, and then to be able to sign him long term. Now, if you're the New England Patriots, you might still have to give us some pieces and the picks, but you have enough money to absorb that. So it's all going to come down to who trades for him, where he's going, who's involved, how many picks. But again, I think that trade for Micah Parsons and him leaving Dallas is very, very slim when it comes to the chances on that. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell, man. We on our way to this 1K, and all your support is greatly appreciated. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always love football, and y'all already know we gonna catch y'all on the next one, for sure.
This has been a presentation of the Break